Welcome back to Zwartkops, the arena of motorsport and the 18th running of the Passion for Speed Festival. These guys and girls have been standing around waiting for this action, and they've been here almost for a week setting things up. We're going to go into the Midvaal Historics and Invitational Production Saloons. Midvaal Historics is a growing class, and every single time they come to Zwartkops, they really put on a good show. But they've got about 7 cars in front of them, including Trevor Tuck's M535i, Alan Eve in a 328i, and a couple of 325i S Shadowlines that are going to be fighting hard with Graham Nathan in his E9 from Grumpy Racing. Let's see what those Invitational Saloons do as they get off the line now with a rolling start. In them, Carlos Gamero as well in his 325IS. And in that pack, keep an eye out on Rolf Duplessis and Rob Prius. Rob Prius out there in a Roddy Turner replica from the Sanek Group N days.
So here's the actual Midvaal Historic class now setting off for the first time. You can see coming into turn 1, over 25 cars taking part. As you said, Greg, a growing category. As Brandon Parker, he looks like he's got out at the front end. Yes, he has, with Jackie Morrison, Sifari Senior, Dion van Vieren not too far behind. Travis Jensen also in there with the likes of Rigard van Sale, Gavin Linden and Sean Smith.
Look at that, a nice little start from Stefan Schneider's in that camouflage Porsche as well. He's tucked in that mid-pack. A little bit of issues though. We've got to chat for that Mazda of Dion van Vieren. A little bit of a problem there. Didn't have quite the start that he wanted in that R100, but definitely a man to watch out for. Oh, we already got action down into turn 4. Volkswagen corner, seen lots of it. And Lawrence van Sal out of shape onto the kitty litter. There's a move from Morrison. He dives on the inside of Sifari Senior, looking for a way through. Senior just shuts the door. Speaking of shutting the door, Graham Nathan slamming the door shut, not letting Rolf Duplessis anywhere near the front. They've already caught the back end of some of these cars who had issues earlier on. And Alan Eve piloting Roy Campos's Peter K. Eddie Estates 328i. Let's find out how they're going.
Got 2 newcomers to the sport making their debut this weekend, Alan Eve and Roy Campos. Alan, you must be a bit nervous making your debut this weekend.
I'm very nervous, Dave. First time I've driven this car. But I think Roy and his team are glad to have their number 1 driver back. And we'll see what we can do.
Roy, the number 1 driver, I believe.
Yeah, look, we have taken a plug lead off, Don't trust him. The car's way too fast for him,
Roy, you're a big enthusiast of this weekend. You come every single year. It's a big weekend for you guys.
Yeah, we take everything out of the closet there, all the cars, Peter the toy phones, and he says, bring everything you got, we'll allocate some class to it, And then, of course, I'm lucky enough to drive the Lola there for Craig Cummings in the 45-minute, so it's a fantastic weekend.
Alan, no pressure though, but Roy did tell me big prize money for you this weekend as well.
Yeah, look, I'm going for the $1 million. It's Roy has said if I win with the class, then he'll give me $1 million, so I'm happy. Jeez, I've got nothing to lose here.
I think Denzel Barner brought that $1 million from Zimbabwe for you, Alan Eve. But right now, it's not quite there. Sifari Morrison going at it at the front end of the Midvaal Historics. They haven't quite caught the pace of Brendan Parker. Oh, and a touch there. Van Vieren tapping the back end of that GTV and sends it to the sideline. Oh, not quite where you wanted to be ending up. And now in the mid-pack there, Richard van Sal being sent to the outside. Further back in the field, he has Graham Nathan on the back end of Smallburger, trying to find a way through the back markers. He's managed to just keep out Rolfie Duplessis in that 325 Shadowline.
Yeah, coming through the back markers now. You do not want to do any kind of damage to that beautiful BMW. We're coming now down to the checkered flag. Here comes Graham Nathan. Does look like he's going to hold off that challenge of Duplessis coming to the line. On the inside, easy does it. Yes, going to bring that car around. How does that big man get into that car is what I would like to know.
With a lot of lubrication, but he manages to get in and take the victory ahead of Rolf Duplessis. Now, problems. You can see Smallburger on the outside having some issues, and it nearly cost Stefan Schneider some issues. Trevor Tuck being caught and nearly passed by Brendan Parker, who's going to take the win now in the Midvaal Historics. Easily done for Class D. He wins out over Jackie Morrison and Sifari Senior. Invitational Saloons going to Graham Nathan, head of Duplessis, Alan Eve. Brendan Parker wins out over Morrison and Senior. Let's find out from Brendan how busy the traffic was.
It was an awesome start. I actually thought, where the rest of the guys? I keep looking back, thinking that I've done something wrong there, but I tell you what, the conditions, I was a bit concerned because the rubber's all like washed up from last night, but I tell you what, the car ran fantastic. The weather was awesome. The car produces in weather like this. It was excellent. I couldn't have asked for better.
Let's see now what's going to happen as Travis Tripod Jensen gets ready for heat number 2. So a little bit of adjustment here and there for a couple of these drivers. Going to just try and tweak things up a little bit to see if they can get a bit more pace out of these cars. Nathan's Motorsport have done an incredible job there for the Grumpy Racing BMW E9. He's going to be a tough man to beat in Invitational Saloons, but Duplessis and now Alan Eve looking for that $1 million is right on their tail.
Surely cannot be called Grumpy Racing.
It is. Graham Nathan's Grumpy. That's his nickname. Around the outside, look at that. Rob Brees fighting hard with Camaro. That is kind of what you would see in the late 80s into the 90s. Superboss versus 328 IS Shadowline at Kyle Army at Swartkops and all tracks around the country, with the late great Tony Viana taking on Marius Briggs, Michael's cousin, in that Opel Superboss.
And here we go, the Midvaal historic cars now come through. Watch out for Regard van Sale. He got tapped in turn number 1. In race number 1, and he's going to try and make amends here in number 2. You can see he's already right up in the front end of this field now, challenging the likes of Brendan Parker, Travis Jensen, Sifari right up in the mix as well. Look out for Francois Jacobs as well, right up in the mix in the red number 3 car as they go to the top of the hill now for the first time, running a little bit wide there. That's not where you want to be. The dirty stuff is out there trying to get traction, but he just cuts straight across. Where are you going? How did he get that car turned? But that's lost him 2 or 3 positions.
Now running wide there cost him big time. Oh, running wide for Nathan as well has cost him big time as well. He's dropped down to second place, fighting off Alan Eve and Rob Brees as they come through turn 2. Now getting the power down in that E9, trying to close down on Duplessis, who's got away. This is a super start here at the front end from that Ford Escort. Renee van Rensburg doing an amazing job there in that Mark II. As they come out of turn 2, Travis Jensen applying pressure, and look at the pressure being applied onto the back end. Further in the pack, Super C. Oh, that's a big one in the background.
That is a massive one. Well, we've got a couple of cars that have collided and going into turn number 1. Some big damage there. Car number 17. Oh, that is Paddy Fensky on his debut. The MSA official now officially out of this one. Double yellow safety car. That means we're going to have a complete rolling start here. Once again, it does look like Nathan has got a much better start there. So problems there now for Alan Eve and Rolf Duplessis. They've got all that work to do once again.
Trevor Tuck applying massive pressure onto the back end on that 325 IS and the Superboss as Midvaal Historics heads down into turn number 1. Gavin London up the inside looking for a way through, and on the outside already. Is that Morrison? I think it was Jackie Morrison who got sent wide there. Yes, Jackie Morrison going to have to do some work from that a lot further back than what he'd like to be. He's actually behind Stefan Schneider as they go out of turn 2.
Good start there from Sean Smith as well. Car 77 at the front end of that Midvaal class. But here we go to the front end of the race, and you can see now starting to close up a little bit between the likes of Nathan and Alan Eve, although Duplessis has just extended his lead at the front of this. Look how close, side by side at the top of the hill. Nathan had to give that position, just running out of room there. It gets very tight at the top of the hill, so change up here compared to race number 1 is not having it his own way. This time around is Graham Nathan.
Sliding out of turn 6 into
Beautiful.
7. Here he comes down on the braking markers. Alan Eve in the K80 Estates and Campos Racing BMW.
He wants that $1 million.
He wants the $1 million. He's fighting hard for it. If he beats out Nathan, there's a possibility he might get half of the money. Let's see what happens.
You'll see me take cars out left, right and centre. There's $1 million on the line. Yeah, look at these Midvaal guys that are going hammer and tong. That is the man, of course, 159. That is a Brandon Parker, a race 1 winner, but he's in a massive dice now with Rene van Rensburg. Gavin Linden also not too far behind. Travis Jensen, Regard van Sale now right in the mix as well. Sean Smith just falling by the wayside a little bit now after that brilliant start.
Van Sale hanging on. Brendan Parker into second now, and you can see the pressure coming from Van Rensburg. A little bit of rubbing tyres on the side of that Ford Escort Mark II. Nathan coming through the field rapidly. He's managed to find a way through as Rolf Duplessis made a mistake in the closing stages. So it's going to be Graham Nathan for a double win in the Invitational Saloons. He wins out. There you can see Duplessis and Alan Eve nearly across the line, but Duplessis just hangs on.
Now we go into the Midvaal, just a little bit further back. This is the dice. Oh, it's a lot closer than it was in race number 1. You can see coming across the line, Regard van Sale picks up the win just ahead of Brandon Parker.
Rene van Rensburg will take third place in that category, and there you can see confirmation of the top 3 in the Invitational Saloons. Graham Nathan's had a fantastic day. Let's chat to him.
It's an E9 530 CSL. We bought it from Cape Town, and it's just made it better and better and better. This is the car that I actually rode off the hill climb 5 years ago. I crashed in the hill climb, and Peter allowed me to fix it, and it's back and it's going like a train. It really, really does well. It's very fast. The class that they put us in today was it was a bit of a giant in amongst those guys, but we've done the work. The car's good, and I had a great day.
Join us after the break for some more action from the 18th running of the Passion for Speed Festival.